Welcome to Choose Your Own Adventure, brought to you by Audible.
Audible Studios presents Mystery of the Maya, written by R.A. Montgomery, performed by Kyla Garcia. Warning: this story is different from other stories. You and you alone are in charge of what actually happens. There are dangers, adventures, and consequences, all depending on the choices you make. And the wrong choice could end in disaster, even death. Good luck. It is night. You are standing on the flat top of a stone pyramid. Men dressed in long green robes crowd around you. They chant and sing in a language you don't understand. You look into the misty light for your friend Tom. Suddenly, you see him, struggling for his life. He is strapped to an altar, his arms and legs tied down. Tom's terrified eyes meet yours, and you see him mouth the words, "Help me, please." A man in robes and carrying a dagger steps forward, moving towards Tom. "No!" you scream, reaching out. You lunge forward, but the only thing you clasp is the lamp next to your bed. You jerk awake and sit up, looking around. You are home in your own room. There's no altar, no singing men. You take some deep breaths. It was just a bad dream. 3 days ago, your best friend Tom disappeared on assignment in Mexico. He was doing a piece for cable TV on the ancient Mayan temples at Chichen Itza. His assistant Amanda called to tell you the news. Tom was onto a hot story, but he wouldn't say what on the phone. After he was reported missing, the police found a dark red stain on the stone of the Mayans' altar. No one has seen him since, Amanda tells you. Who called to tell you? You ask. Tom's guide, Manuel. Tom said that if anything happened to him, I should call you right away, she replies. Do you think you could go down there to look for him? I'm really worried.
Do you continue your journey?
You lunge forward, but the only thing you clasp is the lamp next to your bed. You jerk awake and sit up, looking around.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
You lunge forward, but the only thing you clasp is the lamp next to your bed. You jerk awake and sit up, looking around. You are home in your own room. There's no altar, no singing men. You take some deep breaths. It was just a bad dream. 3 days ago, your best friend Tom disappeared on assignment in Mexico. He was doing a piece for cable TV on the ancient Mayan temples at Chichen Itza. His assistant Amanda called to tell you the news. Tom was onto a hot story, but he wouldn't say what on the phone. After he was reported missing, the police found a dark red stain on the stone of the Mayans' altar. No one has seen him since, Amanda tells you. Who called to tell you? You ask. Tom's guide, Manuel. Tom said that if anything happened to him, I should call you right away, she replies. Do you think you could go down there to look for him? I'm really worried.
Do you continue your journey?
Several hours later, you land at Merida and pass through customs. Suddenly, as if appearing out of nowhere, a man is by your side. Hello, my name is Manuel. I am to be your guide. Welcome to Mexico. He shakes your hand and smiles. Manuel's skin shines like copper. His large nose and sloping forehead remind you of the ancient Mayan paintings and stone carvings in the books you studied on the plane. Suddenly you realize that Manuel himself must have descended from the Mayan people. The civilization, many say, collapsed 800 years ago, but its people live on to this day. I tried to help Tom, Manuel says, grabbing your heaviest suitcase. But, unfortunately, he did not always take my advice. Maybe together we can find him? Where do you think we should start, Manuel? You ask. Perhaps at the university? Dr. Lopez might help. He is a leading expert on Mayan culture. Or maybe we should go straight to Chichen Itza, the last place Tom was seen alive? Do you visit Dr. Lopez, or go straight to Chichen Itza? Manuel smiles with satisfaction at your choice. Very good. You will like Dr. Lopez. Come with me. A taxi takes you through the narrow streets of Mérida, past Spanish-style buildings and to the university. Dr. Lopez has an office on the 4th floor of a building with long hallways and high ceilings. You enter his cluttered office and he speaks. Welcome to the land of the Maya, Dr. Lopez says with a smile. He waves his arm about the room. Just as you are thinking that you would be grounded if your bedroom were as messy as Dr. Lopez's office, you notice that it's crammed with Mayan art. You are looking at an amazing collection of pottery and stone carvings. There are snakes, monkeys, jaguars, and fierce-looking half-human, half-animal forms. Even in the age of computer animation, the ancient Mayan icons are still powerful and menacing, you think. You are here about your friend, the young American TV reporter, aren't you? Dr. Lopez says in a kind voice. Yes, I am. Can you help? Perhaps, Dr. Lopez replies. He came here and asked for information. The mystery of the Maya has lured many. Tom is not the only one to disappear. He was keen to learn, so I offered him a special and dangerous approach. What was that? You ask. The hair on your neck and arms rises. Something is afoot. A time travel potion developed by the Maya hundreds and hundreds of years ago. I gave Tom a bottle of it before he left for the site at Chichen Itza. The potion works best if you take it near one of the ancient pyramids. My guess is that your friend used it and has yet to return. I cannot explain the stains on the stone altar at El Castillo, the largest pyramid there. If Tom did something to anger the Mayan priests, he may have found more trouble than he could handle. When angry, the priests could be vicious and brutal. So what can we do? You cry. Dr. Lopez reaches into his desk and pulls out a small flask. He holds it out toward you. Here, take this. It is the last of my supply. This potion will let you travel back 800 years to the time when Mayan civilization began to disappear. But remember, don't show fear when you get there. You must be brave. Manuel will go with you. Dr. Lopez nods toward your guide. You look at Manuel, who looks back. His eyes are filled with kindness. I will go with you if you want me to, he says gently. Do you take the potion to travel back in time to look for Tom? Or do you travel to the ruins at Chichen Itza instead to talk to the local police? You follow Manuel's gaze. He is staring across at a long, low building made of yellowish stone covered with snake carvings. A hush falls over the crowd. 5 men and 1 woman in gold and red robes, carrying silver spears and wearing bright green feathers in their hair, emerge from the low building. They move through the crowd and start climbing the steps of the temple. They are of the priest clan, Manuel whispers. That is the priestess with them. A squad of warriors carrying knives and swords fans out in the courtyard. By now you notice others in the crowd staring at Manuel. Several people bow down low before him. They move aside as if to make room for you both to move forward. Is Manuel a shaman after all? He smiles at you and says, My friend, you may choose to go with the priests and priestess, or you can go with the warriors. Either group might know about how to find Tom. You hear a horrible scream coming from a small hut behind one of the pyramids. Everyone stops. "What was that?" you whisper. "You will soon find out. It might be someone preparing for services. Decide now," Manuel replies in a hurried whisper. Do you go with the priests and priestess, or do you go with the warriors? The crowd parts further as you and Manuel walk after the priests and priestess. You begin to climb the steep stone steps. When you reach a ledge, the priestess watches you closely as the 5 priests form a tight square around you. Their long black hair is coated with a thick, light-colored substance. You ask Manuel what it is. "Clay, taken from the earth and dried. It has healing properties, and the priests think it makes them stronger. They use it in sacrifices. You will see. It is called Itza." You pull back in horror. Sacrifices? What for? What kind of sacrifices? Be patient. Just follow the priests. Do not show fear whatever you do. Manuel hangs back. The priests alongside you climb the steep steps of the Temple of the Magicians one by one. At the top of the pyramid, there is a small room with a stone altar covered in a brownish stain. "You are now going to be one of us," says the head priest, as if he's known you before. "Welcome to the Mayan priesthood, where men and women are—" But he does not finish. A blood-curdling scream rises from below. What is going on? Do you accept their offer of priesthood, or try to make a run for it? You stare at the priests in front of you. 2 of them glare at you. You notice one of them carries a knife, and suddenly you are frightened. The head priest looks stern and says, "Be calm. We will not hurt you. Look in the heavens. There is Venus. It is both the morning and the evening star. Venus will guide you as it guides us. Stay with us and learn about the secrets of the universe. Learn of heaven and hell. Learn of the power of the 4 corners of the earth." You hesitate, but decide to stay with this group of people. 3 of the priests move forward suddenly and grasp your arms. They shove you toward the altar. Are they going to sacrifice you? One of them speaks. "You must make a sacrifice to seal your pact with us. There is no turning back. Here is the knife. You must perform a sacrifice." You are horrified. What is to be sacrificed? What happens to you if you refuse? If you refuse, will they sacrifice you? Do you agree to perform a sacrifice, or do you refuse? "No more talk. Act. Take the knife. Perform the ritual for chalk." The priestess points to the altar. A slave holding a chicken climbs the temple steps. Behind him, 2 soldiers lead a prisoner kicking and screaming. Looking into the prisoner's eyes, you see he is pleading to be saved. Do you stall for time, or accept the knife? Ritual sacrifice. Throughout history, people have performed ritual sacrifices to appease gods. Fortunately, this time it is the chicken that is to be sacrificed. Even so, the very idea of sacrificing even this chicken on the altar gives you the creeps. You decide to try and bring an end to this needless sacrifice. Perhaps if you volunteer to work with the prisoners who are to be sacrificed, you will be able to devise a plan to help them escape. Time is running out, because the ceremony of sacrifice is only 3 weeks away. Maybe Tom is being held prisoner here. Do you plan to escape? Or call in Manuel and plead for help? Manuel, help! I didn't bargain for this! Once again, your mysterious friend appears. He holds out his clenched fists for you to make your choice. Choose the right hand or the left hand. What kind of choice is that, Manuel? That's just rolling dice. Manuel looks at you long and hard. His black eyes almost burn through you. The choices lie deep within you. Do not hesitate. Choose now. Do you point to the right hand or the left?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Do you point to the right hand or the left?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Do you point to the right hand or the left? Slowly, Manuel unclenches his right fist. Inside is a key to a safe deposit box at the Merida airport. He smiles and says, "You are back on your way, my friend. The trip is over. You are back in the present. There is a gift for you in this safe deposit box." What do you mean, Manuel? I've barely gotten started. I need to find out more. You search his face, but you see nothing. No anger, no fear, no worry. It is time to go. Goodbye. When you reach the airport, you open the box with the key. In it is a note. It says, "The plumed serpent, the most powerful god of the Maya, wishes you luck. Go back where you came from and study your own country. Maybe you can help your people. They are in danger." In the box is a gold figure of a snake with feathers near its head. It is small, carved with great detail, and the golden carved scales gleam. Turning around, you see Tom, who smiles and moves towards you. The end.